sound checks?
Yeah, I already did.
Okay.
How's it going?
Oh, super. How are you?
Recording our podcast?
Yeah,
Man, you guys are famous.
Did you guys do one recently?
we did Unfiltered a few weeks ago.
Oh, how are those guys?
It was good. It was
Okay.
one dude. Yeah, it was fun. Hadn't done one in a while.
We had a partner, but he said couldn't make it in, so he's running solo.
Hi, Corey.
Carly.
Hey, nice to meet you.
Good luck.
Nice.
Hey, thanks.
Oh, hello.
Hey,
Hi, welcome to the Rotating Top Comedy Podcast. I'm Steve Vanderploeg.
I'm Corey David.
We are here today at Baere Brewing down on South. Well, I guess it's not quite South Broadway yet, technically.
Is it bears like out in the forest, or a bear like a Belgian bear?
Just yes.
Is that how bears
Yeah.
is spelled in
Every
Belgian?
meaning of
Flemish?
bear. Every meaning of bear, yeah.
Yeah, is that
That
right?
means barley in Old English.
Oh man, I'm an idiot.
I
I thought I knew a little bit about
You're
history. I don't
an
know
old
shit.
idiot.
You pronounced it right. So.
Yeah, we old idiots. Yeah,
I
what's,
mean,
do you get beer?
depending on what country
Baere.
certain customers are from, you like hear that it actually means a lot of kind of obscene things in like Switzerland or Sweden.
Oh, hell yeah.
It means a lot of things all over, yeah.
Yeah, I think it means boner in Florida. If I'm not mistaken.
I can't get rid of this bear.
So guys, could you just do us a quick favor? Introduce yourself and a little snippet about what you do here at the brewery.
Sure. Yeah, I'm Ryan. I'm a co-founder and long pause.
It's like that, is that like an existential thought? You're just
yeah.
like, what am I? Who am I?
My wife's always telling me I gotta stop pausing.
What
That's
do
a-
I do here? What is it?
No, that's a good comic trick, dude. Timing is everything. Give that long, pregnant pause.
Just wait for it. I just kind of try to manage way too many things, and I brewed a lot of the beer at the beginning. So still do kind of production management stuff, and then front of the house kind of management, and run back and forth from stores and things like that. Yeah.
So you do like a lot of the sales stuff too, or?
Yeah, me and Matt actually do. We kind of split the metro area a little bit. Yeah.
Nice. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm Matt. I'm head brewer now at Baere Brewing. I've been here a little over 4 years now, but in the same kind of thing as Ryan, just helping out with whatever needs to be done. So sales runs, sending out emails to places when we have releases, cellar works.
The fun
We
stuff.
used to do one shift in the tap room when things were operational like that, but now just back of house, pretty much everything. So
Yeah. Have you guys really had to ramp up your responsibility list since like quarantine, since COVID started, or is it just a matter of like, nah, this is kind of how we always did it?
Yeah, as far as the tap room goes, obviously things are a little bit different. As far as what we do, that's why I think the long pause, I haven't put together my mid-COVID, beginning of COVID, wherever we are in the middle of COVID.
If you had to rewrite your job description right now,
Yeah,
like,
it became something else.
literally becomes everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, were you guys doing a lot of distribution before COVID started?
no, very limited with just our bottles that are all like bottle conditioned stuff, and
Those
then
are hard
just
to shotgun.
yeah. I've seen some tricks though with those
Can you
straws.
saber
straw.
them? Can you saber it?
If you want to risk a little glass shards here and there,
That's for the
maybe, I don't
Patreon. We'll
know.
do that. We'll do that after the show.
We've never savored
No.
anything.
I think you should. I think you should give it a shot. Have you ever savored anything personally? Not even like at the brewery?
Never, no.
It's exhilarating.
Yeah.
I don't know where you can find a sword, but if you can get one handy, just put one up on the wall.
Sure.
I mean, I've seen those videos where people use like an iron, like a spoon, like
Yeah.
just random tricks.
Yeah, let's just find some stuff
Yeah.
laying around here.
Saber.
Hey, let's use Corey's brand new phone.
Yeah. It's actually a razor.
Waterproof, I'm sure, up to like 10 feet or so. So
Oh, this
I
is
don't think a
high
beer will
garbage.
hurt it.
I'm so upset that I didn't get an iPhone. I just like had an upgrade. I was eligible for an upgrade or whatever, and I went Samsung because I'm a goddamn idiot. And I should have went with the iPhone. I feel like such a moron because anytime you're trying to send pictures, videos, it's just trash.
This is a perfect segue into our old segment. What kind of phone do you guys have? Are we iPhone people?
I'm just saying, recommendation before we leave would be put a sword on the wall, kind of like the Winchester in Shaun of the Dead, where they have the rifle on the wall, and nobody's sure if it works or not. I do want to talk about zombies
Dogs
today,
don't
so.
look up, is that? meal.
That's true.
Dogs don't look up. Yeah.
Everybody knows that. Cool. So I don't know. You said you referenced our segment list before you did come on the show, but like that was a month ago probably.
Yeah.
So you are ready with the joke.
Yeah.
Matt, are you ready with
Long
the joke?
pause.
It's the only one I have
Good.
memorized.
It's good.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's gonna be
all right.
It's gonna be great.
I'm just scared, dreading this chug.
Yeah.
I can't even do our 4-ounce beer shots. Like,
No, beer shots are such a big thing here in Colorado. They're not ideal like in other places.
Yeah.
But you notice that?
I feel like beer
Yeah,
shots are only
it's-
for cool people. Like, you don't get beer shots if you're just a norm. If you're just a reg hanging out. you
So,
know?
yeah, but that's, I mean, at least it's a beer shot instead of something like for Nat or Malort, because those are also cool people shots.
Oh yeah.
I just had my first shot of Malort during COVID because Sputnik's selling it to go.
Oh, that's pretty wild.
Yeah.
And was it your last shot of Malort ever?
First and I actually kind of enjoyed it.
Ah, interesting.
You're one of the
I
sick
hated
ones.
it.
I
Yeah,
think
you're,
so, yeah.
you're one of the demented, twisted motherfuckers.
I kind of like Fernet, but anytime I drink Fernet, I know that's my turning point for the night, and then it's all downhill from there.
Yeah.
I get, like if I do a shot of Fernet, it's like I have to be like I need to leave in 30 minutes. I have to go home.
If I'm doing a shot of Fernet, that means that I've dropped my moral standards completely for the night because I don't like it, but I want to fit in. That's ultimately it.
We do have Underbergs here if you were interested in that.
Oh yeah, we might be able to
Yeah.
rip some under.
I think that should count in the same time frame as the 16-ounce chug,
That's
though.
true.
Getting it out of the bottle.
Is that the one you have to unwrap? Like the
Yeah.
tiny thing?
Yeah.
Just like shaking it.
It's like a little Tabasco-sized bottle or whatever.
With the same size opening, yeah.
It's a digestif, yes?
Yeah, you're supposed to take a shot after you eat a big meal.
Have you ever noticed how effective that is?
No, I've never really done it right after eating.
I did it on Thanksgiving. Like 2 years ago, I had a shot after Thanksgiving, the Thanksgiving meal, and it, I guess, helped. I mean, I was still full, but I didn't feel like full.
You still felt hollow inside.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's good.
Also, the turkey might have knocked me the fuck out. So,
What's your guys' death shot? Like, what's the one that you can't fucking stand? Is it tequila? Is it
I'm
whiskey?
tequila.
Can't do it?
No. Too many float trips in southern Missouri that, yeah.
Just on the Mississippi, just floating down the
Yeah.
river?
Ran the creek all the way to Mississippi and got lost after a few too many tequila shots.
Is it because you were just like passed out on an inner tube, or you just didn't care about life at that point?
Oh, who knows?
Just
100-degree heat, plus humidity, and
Pure bliss.
just, yeah.
Probably peppermint schnapps.
Statue of Liberty shot with
Interesting.
rumplements.
Mhm.
You ever done that?
No. What's the Statue of Liberty shot?
Dip your thumb in the rumplements and light it on fire, and then take the shot and blow it out.
What the hell are you guys doing in Missouri?
Have you never
What
been?
is it?
Yeah, that was a one-time thing.
Yeah, I did some floating around in the Mississippi River. I used to live in St. Louis for a summer.
Yeah.
Wild joint. East St. Louis is one of the craziest places I've ever been in my entire life.
I lived 20 minutes on the Illinois side right there. So.
Yeah, you're right.
Drive
in the thick
through it
of
all the time.
Yeah. Just to go pick up a prostitute, go check out a bank with a bunch of bullet holes in it, burn down gas station, wild dogs.
It's always an adventure.
It's
St.
fun.
Louis sounds tight.
Dude, it was crazy. I don't know why you'd take your family to Disney World when that's right down the street.
That arch.
Yeah, they got the arch. You're right.
Yeah, they
great
were.
point.
You know.
Very great point with that.
Let's just keep talking about
they got
St.
the
Louis
arch.
for the rest of the show.
I thought it would be a good idea to go to the arch on mushrooms once, and it was just horrible.
Does it still look like an arch?
Still is
Yeah.
pretty arch
Yeah,
like.
just
Did you feel the
bend in the
sway
middle.
that it has?
I didn't go up in it. I mean, I've been inside of it before I ate mushrooms, and I was like, there's no way I'm gonna be trapped in that weird tiny room elevator with a bunch of like. I just pictured some mom and her kid next to me, like getting stared at.
Oh yeah. that
Asking
sounds-
questions like, do you think you can float from up here? Or what?
But the only bathrooms close by, you have to go underground through security, which is just not an awesome.
Anytime you're on mushrooms and the words "go through security"
Yeah.
come up,
Yeah.
that's not ideal.
Yeah, not a good time. For
Yeah, I
sure.
could think of that being one of the worst places to trip. Church, the arch, maybe the Statue of Liberty. All terrible places to trip. Could you imagine having to go back down? Have you guys been in the Statue of Liberty?
No.
Never have, no.
The spiral staircase to get up it, like you walk, it's straight up, and it's a super steep spiral staircase. Walking down that while you can't even really get a grasp of how far away your hand is in front of your face seems like a chore and a half.
Yeah, but that's what America was built on.
Mostly fungus and gifts from France. Is mushrooms your go-to psychedelic?
It's the only one I've ever done.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, like.
You were gonna say ketamine.
I was
He's
gonna say
started-
ketamine. Ketamine's
No
not really
LSD.
psychedelic. No LSD, no ayahuasca, no DMT, peyote.
We brought you guys here to see if you've ever done bath salts. This is all a trick. We're cops.
This is actually the only point of the podcast is just to figure out which Denver brewery gets the most fucked up.
True. Yeah.
Great. No psychedelics for you then?
Just mushrooms.
Just mushrooms.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Both
fans
decriminalized in Colorado, the government
Yeah.
listening. If we could get the government to listen to this podcast, we'd be making moves.
just the government in general.
Just the government. Yeah.
They are. They're tapped into everything.
Oh yeah.
They
Well.
are listening.
Yeah, that's what QR codes are, man. They're just syncing everybody up, getting everybody's information when you're ordering a salad. That's how it goes.
Yeah, remember Edward Snowden? Just because he's in Russia doesn't mean that shit stopped.
Yeah, man.
That's very true. Yeah. Yeah. They've already hacked Corey's brand new Samsung.
Yeah, and they shattered the screen. Those sons of bitches.
All right. Well, I think that it's time to have a little chug-a-lug.
Yeah. All right. So here's the way I'd asked you about the joke before, but the way we found that this is more fun is that we're gonna have you guys do the chug. For people that are listening for the first time, we have everybody chug a beer on the show. If it is over 8%, they get 3 seconds off of their time. One of you is electing for the 3% for the 3 seconds off. One of you is not. That's okay. That's respectable. One of you is more fun than the other.
That's respectful.
In case we won't let your employees say it, but we will, because we're just visiting for the day.
Yeah.
So the key is to, as soon as it touches your lips, Steve will start the timer. You chug as fast as you can. We'll provide some colored commentary, and then you have to tell your joke that you prepared immediately after.
Ryan's just staring at it like this is.
Well,
this
there's
is
an
the last-
obnoxious bit left in the can.
Oh, that's the true. That's
Look
the
at that
true
nice
spirit.
foam
Yeah.
head, though. That's good. In the Colorado pint glass day glass, that's what that is,
That's
right?
right.
Yeah, pint day glass.
That's right.
You guys still have a few of those here?
Yes.
We
Nice.
do.
We do.
Hey, Denver, if you need a pint glass, just have like 3 cases.
Not a
I
lot.
don't know anywhere that still has
Not a
one.
lot of takers.
I'm sure.
I mean,
I'm
Novel
sure
Strand
people
just
have
posted that they did.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, we still have an obnoxious amount of these glasses. Can somebody please take them?
one. Yeah.
Different pint day this year. Are we doing this? You go first, man.
Ha! Pressure. Hell yeah.
All right, stretch it out.
It's good. For you.
It's good to get limber. We've seen that strategy work
Yeah.
before.
Get the little pre-sip in there.
All right, so do us a favor. Tell us what you're drinking, chug, and then a joke. And if you have to belch,
Yeah.
feel free to do so.
Hopefully, yeah, that's all.
If you were the first person to puke on this podcast, I'll give you 5 seconds.
That's plausible.
I'll take that.
Yeah. Don't do it.
This is our Mexican lager with a very light dry hop of Motueka in it. So
Cool.
kind of getting that lime character, slow lime character.
Cool. Whenever you're ready. homie.
All right.
He was dreading this, by the way.
Yes.
He's
very much
contemplating
so.
coming, why he came into work today. He was going to call
When
in
did I
sick.
stay on vacation?
The
One
worst
day longer.
time. The worst
Very
time
out of
is over
character
2
for
minutes. So.
All right.
You're the brewer. You love chugging beer.
Staring out to the old Enterprise crush.
Cheers. And he's off.
Oh, yeah.
Not bad. He went
For
deep
somebody
down
that
with the
was so
shoulders
nervous.
first. Well, he's slowing down a little bit.
No, I mean it's still a valiant effort. I mean,
Yeah,
if
yeah, but
there's
he's pushing
there's
through
like
it.
Niagara Falls coming
You
down
don't
the
have to
chute.
worry about a little spillage. You're fine. You're almost at the finish line.
All right, we got time.
Respectable. He's in there. I don't know if your cellarman would be proud of it, but hey, here he is. Your eyes are beat red. Are you high as fuck right now?
Something's in that.
Something was, yeah. Just one of those THC infused.
You thought you've only done mushrooms, but we just dosed you.
Pulled the old Ari Shafir. If you need to burp, you can, by the way. Belchability is allowed on the show.
It'll be there for sure.
All right, so give us a ripper. Give us a heater.
All right. This is the only joke that I can think that comes to mind from the old high school days. And let me see if I can.
Conjure it.
Yeah. What did 50 Cent's grandma say to him when he handed her a handmade sweater? Gee, you knit?
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna go a different route and be like 50 cents something Nickelback.
Yeah.
We don't mention that name around here.
Gee, that's pretty good.
Yeah, fuck the game. That's what I thought you were going to say. That guy's not in G Unit anymore. Dude, I found that the dad jokes are always, they're consistent. Like, some people, they go out on a limb and they tell stuff that's a little bit more kooky, and those don't always hit as hard. But the dad jokes, I feel like, are classics, and that's a modern day dad joke.
Yeah, I mean, it's relevant for our age.
Yeah.
You know.
We're all old enough for G Unit to have been a big part of
It's
our
the
lives.
21 Up podcast, right?
Yeah, it's no, we cater to middle school.
We'll let your kids
15.
listen,
We
yeah.
really want to get people into drinking early.
I mean, that's the whole Hindenburg story, because you can order those off Amazon. So.
That's very true. Yeah, this podcast is also sponsored by Juul.
You just
Juul,
said
sponsored by Juul.
The old sponsors.
Yeah.
Thanks
Good
for
time to plug.
sponsorships.
Yeah. So how do you feel about the beer you just had? Are you pretty good with your time? Feel good about it?
I mean, if I'm not on the bottom, then I guess so.
You're not a
You're
top
not
or
on
a
the
bottom,
bottom.
you're right in the middle. It's a
Wow.
nice three-way action.
I'm shocked by
I
that.
estimated 9 seconds. That's my guess.
That's what you
That
guys
wins
said.
you nothing,
What do you-
but we
what do
will
you guess you're
just for
gonna do?
accuracy's sake.
I don't know. After watching him do that, I was like, ooh,
How often do you guys chug beer here? Just the beer shots?
yeah.
Yeah, and I'm still like two sips on those, and that's 4 ounces.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
He's got if you're out of practice, that doesn't
I
help.
haven't shoved beer since like passing a Das Boot around like Cedar Rapids one night, which we don't remember at all.
Man, you go to some weird places.
I love that sentence, though. Passing a Das Boot around in Cedar Rapids.
Yeah, it was at a Cubs bar too. Like I don't even understand how that's possible.
We're gonna have to circle back around to that.
Shit.
Ryan, you ready to rock and roll?
No, what's the leader? What posture was he sitting in or standing?
He was sitting real high back. I mean, basically straight down the gullet.
However,
like this.
yeah, people do stand. Whatever you need to do it. We'll let you
Make room.
I feel like I should maybe stand.
Yeah, stretch out.
Yeah,
if you want
get
to,
up
go
there.
for it.
Yeah.
This
Okay,
is
so
your
talk
dance.
about it first.
This is your wedding. You can do whatever you want.
Okay, so I'm going to be chugging our double IPA, less talk, more hops. Hopped with, I think, he has too many hops. Nelson Sauvin and Citra.
Too many.
I can only remember one. Okay, I'm just going to sit.
You're just gonna sit.
Okay.
I'm ready.
He's going back and forth about the strategy, but I think he's going to do pretty well. He's motivated. Nice. His eyes went wide.
Oh,
He is
wow.
pushing it, everybody. Damn, that was good. Better than I expected. Exceeding expectations. I'm proud of you, son. This is a great report
Great.
card.
Yeah. Pretty impressive for sure. And
You got a burp?
I don't know. My stomach needs to explode.
You can go for it if you want. Sometimes people think they gotta be polite on this show. We want the exact opposite. You guys are like holding back some laughs. I don't know if that's our fault.
that's mine.
It's mostly, I'll take responsibility for that. You're not
It
burping.
was me.
What if I puke too? Is that like minus 8 points?
No, I think actually I second guessed myself. Put 2 seconds back onto the time. If you puke.
If you
If you lose the entire beer right
That's
after
true.
you chug, I don't think you deserve to get a better
It's
time.
that time, so much time afterwards.
But you would be the leader on our puke board, which doesn't exist yet.
Cool.
But you'd be holding down the #1 spot for that.
you're settling down, you did great. I just
think I
want you
did.
to know. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll give you the times in a second. What do you got for us for a joke?
Okay, this is my 4-year-old's favorite joke. Knock knock.
Who's there?
Dishes.
Dishes who?
Dishes me!
Hi, Sleepy. I'm Dad.
I just yell. I hope that didn't blow out the sound.
That's great. No, that's awesome. We
I
appreciate
mean, we
that a lot.
know that you're here, dishes. We gotta make sure dishes has arrived.
This is sick. Dude, this beer is delicious.
It
Though.
really
I love
is.
this a lot. Like, so you were telling us that, and we'll hold this up to the camera so people can see it. But you went for. Well, tell us a little bit more about the beer itself and then the design on the can logo.
Yeah, sure. I'll start. It's a beer we've been developing over a couple years, I guess now.
And when you say that, like, what does that mean? Like, just different hop varieties,
Change the
different
hops
brewing process.
around.
Malt bill too.
Yeah.
I mean, mostly malt bill, and
Yeah.
then kind of decided on hops. I think the hops mostly was like, oops, we're out of that.
It's just a byproduct of what's laying around, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, so how much with something like this that you're kind of working on for a long period of time? How much are you changing about the brewing process itself, like with the boil or just with dry hopping and things like that?
Like you change mash temp to try to see if it's better. Like the idea of drying it out more, keeping some more sweetness in there. Using the hops more at the end of boil, whirlpool. Raising or reducing the bittering, especially this is a West Coast. So just trying to nail in that bittering.
More West Coast IPAs. You have nothing but West Coast IPAs on the menu right now, and I'm ecstatic about it. Like, I'm so happy.
We love West
I
Coast.
feel like I'm back in the early 2000s. It's the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's put some
50
G-Unit on.
Cent
Yes! A little time warp.
Yeah.
So I didn't mean to cut you off. So yeah, just a little bit more about like the beer itself and then the label design because I love this label.
The label's tight. The label really is awesome.
Yeah, it's named after some would say the seminal album of the punk band Propaganda, Less Talk More Rock.
Someone say that?
Some would say. Now their sound has changed to a lot more like speed metal-y, so people who like their sound now would say that was the last album where they weren't as good as they could have been.
Gotcha.
Of course.
Yeah.
Just didn't reach their potential. What
Yeah.
am I?
But it's the one that
again?
put them on the map, I'd say for sure. And the last time they played in Denver was at the Oriental Theater, so it made sense to put the Oriental Theater on there.
Yeah. The Oriental is a kooky place. I mean, the decor is old and dated, but man, they've got some rocking shows there, like Lucha Libre and Laughs.
I gotta do that.
Are you guys familiar with that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that show is sick. I don't know if you've ever been.
Not there. Or I mean, I guess there are a few different forms of that, or
They've done it. They do like a half version of it at ratio.
Yeah, I was
sometimes.
gonna say I've seen that one, and then Bierstadt. I don't know if that's the same one or not.
Probably the same promoter.
Yeah.
I think our buddy Nick Gozer kind of helps.
Like
promote the whole
Romero's
thing.
Canine Club.
I will
Those
never
ones.
say a nice thing about Nick Gosser. I love him and he is really good at what he does.
Well, it shows you how
He's
much
great.
I know.
But fuck
That's it.
that guy.
That's his last name. Gozer, so hey, go fuck
You're
him
just
too.
thinking about beer styles.
Yeah, just thinking about Gozer.
Do you guys have any Gossas? Can I get a Goss?
What's the hot goss in the Denver beer scene?
Hell yeah.
Do you guys talk a lot of smack about other breweries around town?
That's all we do, yeah.
Very contradicting opinions.
Oh, that's great. Anybody in particular?
Yeah, we really don't like our mutual friend or Cerebral or True
Yeah, they're
or
very garbage.
Concrete or who else are we friends with?
Terrible people.
Strand, yeah.
Terrible people, worse beer at all those
Terrible
particular
beer,
spots. But the thing with like Oriental is that it's in a cool part of town. It's right down the street from Flight Co. and Emporium, where we also run shows.
Right by Color Arms.
But one of the things I love about this artwork is that it's very like post-apocalyptic and kind of just makes me think about like 28 Days Later.
You're really on a zombie thing today.
I just had an idea for it. I was curious about like, do you guys? All right, so where do you guys stand in the zombie debate? Is it slow zombies or fast zombies?
I am a huge horror movie fan.
See?
And I have come to appreciate both. I've watched too many action movies now. I think it's made my head not be able to pay attention for slow zombie movies since they're mostly about character development.
Yeah. Who has time for that?
Who has time for that these days?
Give me an explosion.
Yeah, I mean, 28 Days Later really fucked up the zombie movie genre. I don't think people make slow zombies anymore.
Yeah. Well, I mean, both things kind of make sense, right? Like, if you're literally just rising from the dead, then why would you be fast? But if it's a rabid thing instead, of course you're gonna be ferocious.
Still alive, or like some chemical, medical, like inducing thing.
But even then, like, in order to have a fast zombie, you would have to have a fast human to begin with.
Not if you were so jacked up on adrenaline. Like you see that a lot, where like in war zones, people will get like jacked up with certain drugs that just make them go
Bath
insane.
salts. Yeah.
Yeah, bath
Bath
salts.
salts.
Yeah. Also popular on the beaches in Florida. Man, this pod really is in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
Drug choice of zombies. Bath salts.
Bath salts, yeah, and preteens.
I'm slow zombies. I say slow zombies for sure.
That's more likely.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, 28 days later, definitely, because it was like an infection, right? Versus them like just rising out of the ground.
Well, I think they died first, right? And then immediately. No, they turned. They didn't die. They just turned, right?
I don't remember. Walking Dead did do slow zombies very well. I think people
But
started
that-
to just
dude,
be
that's
like, it
serious.
doesn't make sense that a slow zombie could even hit you.
Just
You can just
you're gonna
walk
be
a little
mess.
faster.
Yeah,
You
but
gotta be a
until
mess.
you're surrounded, right?
Right.
Until there's so many that you can't escape it.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's the threat. Is the mess.
Yeah. Speaking of Walking Dead, dude, like I thought it was off to a great start, but then it turned into like a soap opera, and I'm like, I'm checking out. I
It's
can't
like
look
every
at it.
4 episodes, there's a zombie. Okay. But
Yeah.
in the meantime,
Let's
back
just
in
talk
the colony.
about feelings with my dad. So if you guys were to retreat anywhere, if there were a zombie apocalypse, like where are you going?
I'm gonna go on a river in Missouri.
Cedar
I'm
Rapids.
just gonna grab a bottle of
Grab my
tequila.
boss boot.
I'm gonna grab a bottle of tequila and just float down the
Head
river.
into Cedar Rapids.
You know, catch some sturgeon. That's some nice caviar there. You know, living the lifestyle then.
Yeah. Yeah, what could be better? Just living the Huck Finn lifestyle. Just made a fishing pole out of shoestring. We're gonna take this all the way to the Gulf of Mexico.
What can't go wrong down there, right?
All right, so you're Mississippi River.
I mean, I like the red dawn idea, but I wouldn't really want to have to like eat bark and pine needles all winter. You know, I never hunted anything.
You mean you don't do that now?
No, you know, so I guess.
You don't think you would
someone's-
learn to hunt in the apocalypse?
I mean-
Nobody's just learning to hunt. You're gonna die before most people learn how to hunt.
Nah, man. I think.
How long do you think it would take for you to learn how to catch anything?
Especially with the knife you found while you were running to wherever you were, you know.
Oh, I see. I'm more.
Who's gonna
Are you?
Okay.
Are you, Steve?
Yeah.
What's
Oh,
in
yeah.
your go bag?
He's got a
House
shit
right
Fucking
now?
car, dude. Don't run a deer the fuck over, dude.
But that's the problem with cars. As soon as you hit an interstate, there's too many cars on the road. It's Colorado, dude.
It's a trap.
That's a ski season. That's a ski season weekend. You're stuck out there. I mean, your car. Where are you going with your car?
He's got a container buried in Alamosa full of guns.
Goddamn right.
You're
You
giving
think
him
Alamos
way
is the
more
only
credit.
one?
You're giving him way more credit than he actually deserves. First intelligence.
There's plenty of no. You can stumble upon shit in the mountains. If you walk around in the mountains, there are so many people that are doomsday preppers in the mountains prepared for something like that.
And you're just going to stumble upon their doomsday shelter that they haven't secured at all.
I have seen it before. I have legit. I was in Boy Scouts and found one time. It's crazy.
Listen, I was in Boy Scouts once.
I got kicked out for fighting, but yeah.
How'd you get kicked out?
For fighting
Who would you fight?
other Boy Scouts? I would show up.
An
to the
old
Girl-
lady?
Show up at the Girl Scout meetings. Yeah. Help an old lady across the street, and then right when we get to the sidewalk, just push her back into
He
traffic.
was stealing badges.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever been in a fight?
I have not ever been in a fight. I punched my best friend in the head one time in middle school, and I had to, he was
That
like
taught
twice
him.
my size, and I had to like jump as high as I could to even attempt it.
Just gonna wear him like a
Yeah.
backpack. He's wearing
He
you like
just
a
laughed it
backpack.
off, yeah, and that was it. That was it.
Yeah, I guess you may call it a fight. We were like, my friends were throwing snowballs across the street walking home from high school with a bunch of other kids, and they ran over and they were mad. And one of them pushed me down in the snow, and I had my backpack on, and he was just punching me in the face and yelling at me to get off of him. And I was like stuck in my backpack, so I couldn't do anything. So that's the closest I've been.
That's pretty good though. I think I like that. That's pretty. I've been in 3 fights in my life. I've basically lost all of them. I'm not. It just hasn't worked out in my favor. But it's been a long time. I think the most fun was we were in this pizza joint up in Buffalo, and my friends.
That's a good fight, dude.
My buddies-
Somebody threw some marinara across the room.
My buddies were just like looking for a fight. And I was kind of keeping an eye on them, and I was just like, Jesus Christ, they were just that kind. They were those kind of people. So they just started picking a fight with somebody in this pizza shop, and then at one point, my buddy and this guy are jawing, and then right next to them is my other friend who's got his slice of pizza. And at one point, he apparently just got bored, dropped his slice of pizza, goes to punch the other guy in the face, whiffs hard, misses completely. And then when he does that, one of the other dudes just cracks him, like right in the fucking jaw. They're all kicking him, and then all of a sudden, like it's just a huge melee inside of just Pizza in Buffalo, New York. And about 10 seconds later, literally the cops rolled up and everybody scattered. But
They're like, we were here for pizza. We did not care about the fight.
yeah, it was a literal. It started out as like almost a literal food fight, and then it just turned into something worse. So
Yeah. Well.
cool story, right?
Yeah, that's great.
I forgot, I did get knocked out trying to prevent a softball brawl. And,
Matt, these are the details that we need to know.
That reminded me
A
of it.
softball
Yeah.
brawl.
Yeah, we were.
How does that even happen?
It was a drinking game.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that actually would be a fun name for a drinking game, softball brawl.
Yeah, just.
It was a strike.
Just
though.
embarrassed him too much, you know. Short gamed him in like 2 innings, and they weren't a big fan of the one black guy on our team, and there's a bunch of.
What was the other team, cops or?
Yeah, something like that.
Was the Aurora
boys
Police?
here
You were
and
playing the
there.
Aurora Police
Yeah.
Department.
And
I
I
did
did.
not-
I was like,
you
we're about
like
to
to
walk
fight.
off the field and leave. Like, we're getting out of here.
Yeah.
Some guy on their team from the dugout apparently came sprinting out to be the hero and start this fight, and tried to jump punch him and hit me in the back of the head instead. And then it was Braveheart.
Just Superman.
And then I woke
punching
up
him in
and
the
then
back.
I'm like,
Whoa!
what is going on?
You got knocked the fuck out?
Yeah, just
Damn, dude.
I
no
got
idea.
I got sucker punched at Warped Tour one time during Billy Idol by a dude. I was 17.
That sentence.
I was like 17 and the dude was like 30 and he sucker punched me. And then like grabbed. I had long ass hair and he tried to like he was pulling my hair to try and slam it. And I was gonna kill the dude when I got up and people were like holding me back.
Yeah,
I was like,
this
no,
sounds,
dude,
yeah,
just
sounds like you would have killed him.
dude. I'm so much scrappier than you realize.
I would have killed him. If everybody wasn't holding me back after I got knocked unconscious, I would have killed him.
I didn't get knocked out.
Okay.
I'm pretty hardcore.
Softball brawl seems like if you played softball and you had to fight to get on every single base.
Yeah.
And you had to fight the first baseman.
Just like take off your metal spikes and whatever you have.
Whatever you
available,
can,
yeah.
whatever you do, you can bring your bat.
Yeah.
Bring like you don't have to ditch the bat at home
Bring
plate.
home plate.
Yeah. Second baseman's got killer brass knuckles.
Well, now that we've solved the zombie situation and softball,
Well, you guys didn't tell me where. You didn't say where you wanted to go, right?
Oh, so I think like, somewhere like Palisade where fruit will just be growing by itself.
Yeah.
So you can like get by until you learn how to hunt, and then retreat somewhere else.
Which actually segues a little bit into my next question. Palisade. Is this beer that I'm drinking made with peaches?
No.
At least said peaches.
Oh, it just has like heavy peach notes.
Oh, sorry.
I know.
I was ready to tee that up. I was ready to
God
softball
damn.
brawl that like out of the
Oh.
park.
But then a punch came out of nowhere.
yeah,
Yeah,
you were
yeah,
fighting. You were
yeah.
trying to get to first base.
If anybody just wants to punch me in the face right now, it'll actually complete the bit. It'll complete the joke.
That's a home run.
Yeah. Well, sorry. Did you want to get into
Well,
something?
yeah, I wanted to talk about the Times. We haven't gotten to the Times yet.
Okay.
Then New York.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The chugging
The
times.
Denver Post.
So
No, the
we,
Chugging
get up,
Times.
we go up on
Oh
tangents.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. You remember that thing you did?
Super curious.
Whoops, I didn't hit start. You have to do it again.
Yeah, we won't say no. You can if you want.
Joke's on you. I never hit end. You were at 14 minutes right now. Speaking of 14, Matt, you did come in at 14.55 seconds.
Not bad. Respect.
Which is not bad. It is in the lower 10, but
Hey, I was expecting lower 5.
you haven't chugged in a long time, so I get that.
Just nuts on camera.
Ryan, you have cracked the top 10.
Woo!
All right.
Yeah. Nice, buddy.
Let's get a round of applause.
Before you take the time off, you finish at 4.06 seconds.
Shit.
Taking off 3 seconds puts you at 1.06.
Did he beat Kevin?
He beat Kevin Boyd
Yeah.
by 200ths of a second.
Who did knock out?
Man, I just
Tim
saw
Spot.
that picture of Kevin on your guys' Instagram. Sorry, Kevin.
Yeah, man.
He knocked out comedian and Wide Right owner Jeremy Peischer.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
Fleischer will be back.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. He's busy these days.
Yeah, I know. But congratulations.
Thank you.
Anything you want to say to the people out there about your big top 3, number 2 on the CHUG Leaderboard victory?
I'd like to thank COVID-19 for existing and making me get a lot better about drinking beer really fast.
Praise Jesus.
You're the first person to ever thank COVID-19.
Yeah, it's really fucking morbid.
But hey, it's something that some people have thrived during COVID-19.
Yeah,
and your drinking ability has been one of them.
Bezos made a lot of money, and you learned how to chug 2 seconds faster.
I don't think I'm alone in that either. So.
Now, speaking of which, I mean, have you guys noticed like an uptick in volume because of COVID, or have things? I mean, because your business model just changed dramatically because of all this. But have you noticed like sales across the board are down because you're obviously doing new distribution now for
Right.
your packaging?
Yeah, like taproom sales are definitely down.
Oh yeah.
About 40% from last year still.
But has
That's
anything
not,
you're
for
doing
a
on?
brewery, though, that's not terrible.
It's
There's
not.
places way worse off than
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
like so we always remember that and keep ourselves in check with that for sure. And then our distribution has upticked a lot. I also just started doing kind of our financial stuff, so I don't really know what anything means right now, and it seems like kind of a hard time to put a lot of effort into figuring that out.
Yeah, QuickBooks is tough.
Yeah, and just trying to like do any sort of even short-term planning for stuff. It's like let's just try to sell as much beer as we can.
Yeah. We're like, 'cause we
Yeah.
put on live shows too, and we're like, let's just try and do as many as we can until the weather turns. Or,
Yeah.
Well, are you so with distro? Are you guys? Are you doing any cans or is it bottles?
Yeah.
Less bottles by far.
Okay.
More
I mean,
cans. I mean,
we're
we're going
drinking
through
out
our
of
bottles.
No, I know, but you never. I mean,
But,
I don't know what they're distributing.
Yeah, going through whatever we have in bottles. It's hard to find the time to bottle nowadays with like keeping up with batches to get into cans. So
Sure.
we have the double batch for some of these tanks, and then just prep for like that next month when the canning line comes through. So it's really busy back there. And so it's just kind of, and then making beer that people are drinking during this time seems a bit different. So,
What are you noticing?
I mean,
Higher
hops rule
percentage.
everything.
Hops rule everything around me.
Yeah, and then, heavily fruited sour beers or just fruited sour beers still are trending in that way.
Oh, like
quick-
quick,
And seltzer.
like quick sours or still like aged sours at all?
It's, I would say, in that realm, I don't know, it's hard to judge because when people are coming into the tap room and sitting down and drinking, they're willing to try more varieties of sour beer,
Yeah.
or they're a little more hesitant to like drink a barrel-aged sour that's like 8.5% that has, sage and juniper in it, like one we have on tap or something like that. Whereas if it's just like a blackberry, blueberry, 5% sour, they already know what they're getting and jump
Sure.
all over it.
Yeah.
So.
Right.
That
Well,
makes sense.
fruited sours, hazies, and I mean milkshakes to a degree, and then pastry stouts seem to be like the only 4 things.
Right.
Anyone gives a shit
And-
about right
yeah,
now,
like-
and which is annoying as fuck.
Beer
Because
slushies.
everybody's having to brew to the. I hate. There's so many breweries in Colorado, and it irks me a lot that people have to keep brewing towards what the consumer base wants instead of being able to just be really good at whatever the fuck they're really good at.
Yeah.
I don't know, like if you guys noticed that in particular, have you shifted like what you're making like based on that demand, or is it still you're trying to hold on to your roots a little bit?
I think we have enough taps we're holding on to our roots. I think it's just letting us be more experimental and have fun with like IPAs. Like we've always loved IPAs, so just new hop combinations and just kind of creating kind of whatever hybrid IPA you want, or West Coast or New England, or just a juicy, but
Well, when you
I
say
mean, you
a
guys don't
hybrid,
have any hazies right now, right? Am I looking at this right?
no.
Yeah, see, that's-
There's one fermenting right now.
I do too.
Yeah, like we had one on. And
hey Steve,
sold
stop
out,
trying to
like,
steal that person's
I
car.
want it.
There's kind of
It's a Nissan Altima, 98 Nissan Altima.
Alright, hold on a second.
Oh yeah, I can break for a second.
Oh, your car?
Hello, good dance, car alarm dance, okay.
No, it's a new dubstep song.
You can't see Carly, she's doing it.
podcast remix.
Yeah, wild times.
So you don't have a lot of hazies on right now. So when you say you're doing like hybrid stuff, like is there anything unique or kind of just new movement technique-wise that you guys are trying to do that when you're doing all this experimentation? Like, is there something you're figuring out that you guys are doing that somebody else might not be?
I mean, for me personally, and trying the realm of hazy IPAs and your West Coast and whatever, I love the dryness and drinkability that can come with an IPA, but less bitterness. So kind of brewing in a style where you're brewing it like in the format of like a hazy IPA, but just fermenting it with a real clean yeast, like just Chico, getting a little drier, and then just letting that big whirlpool dry hop kind of answer the juiciness, but you're still kind of getting that clarity out of it, but like not very sweet where it finishes much lower, and then it's really juicy, but then it has that back end dryness, and they're just kind of craving more. Like
Sure.
I've really enjoyed that, and that's one of our beers, Totes Redux, that we do, and that was the one that would have been in that realm on tap, but that went really fast in like 2 weeks, and so it's in the bright tank right now, so it'll be back. But then one of our new hazies that we're doing is in one of the large bright tanks for canning run in a week or 2 weeks. Yeah, nice. So I don't know. That's the other thing is during this time is like how fast all of a sudden something goes off tap, and then you're not expecting it, and then you're like, oh man, we brewed this because things are moving like this, and it's kind of, it literally is, it's a regroup every couple of days in terms of Ryan and I talking about production. So
Corey and I do the same thing with comedy stuff. It's like every few days there's new. We found out there's a law in Denver. We didn't know it. So they're not good at telling us, but we found out that you're legally supposed to, like, performers are supposed to be 25 feet away from the closest audience member outside. And it's like, well, fuck, like, can we still do this? Like, is there breweries now?
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
all
that's
day by day.
with setting up shows, we're figuring out new stuff all the time. And even just with jokes, too, like, you can do topical stuff. But the news cycle these days, it's so fast that you can only do a joke. If a joke works 1 week, it's not guaranteed it's going to work 2 weeks later if it's about something that's specifically happening.
My jokes...
it's like that Twitter time feed, like every, 15 minutes that tweet's obsolete or something like that?
Yeah, and you can tell a joke that kills, like, this week, and then a month later, because it's out of the news cycle, it just doesn't hit. It's hard.
A couple weeks ago, I had some really good fire jokes, and now they're very offensive.
You had fire jokes?
It was a little wild, but now the wildfires have taken over. Pretty dumb. Okay.
Now what happened? So before I forget and also finish this beer, so we're talking about like some of the new things you guys are coming out with. You specifically wanted to talk about your feature beer for the episode, which is delicious, by the way. It's the one not made with peaches, but has peach notes.
Oh, that's not even the one we were going to talk about.
I thought you said you wanted to do the farm beer.
No, and then I changed my mind. Can we do two?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Can we drink more? Can we drink more? Of course
Who's the
we
collab
can.
with?
Yeah.
Who's the collab with?
So we could do, this is funny because these are both collabs with malting companies.
We'll decide it.
The ones- Curious.
We are the judges of all things comedy.
Just fucking around. So what did you pour for me? Is it the same thing that you poured for Steve?
No, Steve's drinking Herbert, which is named after Herbert West.
I was going to
the
say
scientist
Hoover.
from Reanimator, which is arguably a zombie movie.
Yeah, I could agree with that.
Okay. Never seen it.
I mean, it's this guy brings people back from the dead, but
Gotcha.
kind of Frankenstein.
Yeah. Oh, yeah?
Matt, you want to talk about that one?
Is that
Farm Bear?
Farm Bear? Yeah.
Is it Farm Bear? I thought you just said that it wasn't Farm Bear.
That's Farm Bear.
Okay.
We're all confused.
We're
And then
sorry.
this
You're
is-
drinking
This
Farm
is
Bear.
Saison
You're drinking the peachy beer.
You're drinking the one that I get peaches out
I'm
of.
drinking Herbert.
You're drinking Herbert, and I'm drinking Saison Zaba.
We're all sober.
That's fine.
I'm drinking beer.
Cool. So tell me about Farm Bear.
Farm Bear. That is a beer that we brewed with Colorado Farm Brewery down in Alamosa. That is Colorado Malting Companies, like that family-run malting company down there.
Oh, I saw your
Has
Instagram
a-
picture.
And those majestic
Yeah,
rye
that was-
fields
that
with
was
the moon,
very
that little
adorable.
moon back there. Like, oh.
Thanks for the light.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, we went down there for kind of just a getaway from all this and just did a camping trip.
Away from all this, as in the podcast.
Like literally that day, like heading out of the city, 2 cars turned on a one-way towards us, and like it was just like, yeah, we need to just get away from breathing moment down in the middle of nowhere. But we went down there with the idea to brew an IPA, a little different from what they usually do, which is really old school, kind of on that malty side, classic C hops. But so we wanted to feature that.
So you say like Cascade Citra?
Yeah, Chinook. So we kind of wanted to feature that, but then bring some of the funnish hops that we have. I mean, Simcoe I think is real fun, but some people might be burned out on it. But our Strata as well that we've been using a lot of in our Proceed to Memory, like West Coast IPA, that is ironically not on tap with all these other ones. So yeah, that one we brewed with all their malt, their house malt, and then we used Colorado, Chinook, and Cascade in the Whirlpool.
How's the quality like stacking up right now with Cascade Chinook against something like the Pacific Northwest? Because that's the biggest problem that you run into.
Well, all those
It's
hops
like-
are on fire.
Yeah, so that's more of a Roush beer.
Well,
But so I'm from upstate New York,
Yeah.
which used to predominantly be a major hop growing region, and they're trying to get it going again. But the biggest problem they're running into is that they don't have their own unique blends or strains that can be quintessential New York hops, right?
Yeah.
The best they can do right now is make worse quality Cascades. Or
Or
something.
nice bittering hops or
Something like that, you know what I mean? So, like, it's cool. I think it's great that they're, you can grow hops here and whatnot. But I mean, how is the quality of that kind of stuff stacking up against like the places that you would normally get them from?
I mean, we've only used locally grown hops a couple times. So, and the fact that excuse me, we muddled up this beer with our fancy hops, it's hard to really know what the Chinook and Cascade are bringing
Like, what
to
effect
it.
do they have?
Yeah, but I've had like OMF, our mutual friend, they use a lot of locally grown hops and beers, and those beers are excellent.
Shout out
And
to Jan.
yeah, shout out to Jan and Jacob. But these guys, it's just, I think just being there and drinking the beer there too is just really special because they use their well water, the grain that they grow that then they malt, and then yeast. For a lot of their beers, yeast they found on some of their malt in one of their grain silos that they have stashed at like White Labs, and so all their beers are super unique. And if you can like transport your brain back to the 90s or something, just like have an open mind, just have an open mind
You're
about
listening to G-Unit.
just have an open mind about what you're about to drink. Like everything is just so good,
Yeah, and I love that terroir like aspect of farm, like a smaller farmhouse brewery style. Even if it's not a farmhouse, they're not doing farmhouse styles, but it's grain they brew themselves. An estate beer, essentially, right? Like you grow.
Yeah.
It's like, right,
They have one
it's
called
like-
Estate, yeah. So,
Yep.
Cool. Do some open fermentation, locally grown hops, locally grown grain. Like it might not necessarily be the best beer you've ever had, but you can literally get a taste for like this is the taste of the beer.
This is
right?
Colorado.
Yeah, like the well-made,
This is
Colorado.
Colorado.
Character, like just
Yeah.
knowing it's done right there. You're not going out and spending all this money for bringing in grain and whatnot. It's very unique and very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's put some locally made lactose in there. Let's put.
Law's Whiskey gets all of their malt from Colorado Malting Company too, and has helped them to grow their malting space down there, and so they get most of the rye that Colorado Malting Company produces. Law's does, and then Colorado Malting Company uses Law's barrels to smoke malt, so they have these like super interesting smoked beers that are smoked with Law's whiskey barrels.
Interesting. But Laws is like, as far as I know, probably the best like Colorado brand to give barrels to breweries too. Like they don't. I don't. Do they charge you guys? Because I know I see some over there.
Mhm.
Almost every brewery I go to has Laws barrels.
Yeah, they charge.
They charge.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean,
It's
otherwise
just
they're not
straight
going to do
barrel.
anything else with the barrels.
Yeah, right.
And they paid
Yeah.
for them initially, right?
Yeah,
So you
yeah.
might as well just like.
But I mean, I see Laws barrels way more than I see any other barrel in
Mhm.
Colorado. So
Now, would you guys have any? Now that you're doing more distro, and you guys are going out on more sales calls yourself, do you have any fun stories about
do you have any
retailers?
fun anymore now that you're doing these?
No, sales can be very fun, but I have my own experiences dealing with shitheads that work at liquor stores, at bars. Like, have you guys been asked for any pint glass cases yet? Have you been asked for any T-shirts? One time, the first time I stopped into a beer store, and I was just trying to sell in a Sierra Nevada Pale Ale. They were like, "Do you have a guitar that you can give us?" They specifically asked for a guitar. They're like, well, the Dogfish Head gave us a guitar. Like, first of all, I can assure you, Dogfish Head didn't make a fucking guitar. Okay, so somebody spent too much money on this account and put a Dogfish sticker on an old Ibanez guitar that they had, and then you put it on top of their case stack of 6-packs that they were doing, because this was 7 years ago.
I feel like so much of that shit is so illegal too.
Of course it is. What is it about beer sales that you think is legal?
Not that that matters, yeah. You're
Pay
right.
to play.
Yeah.
You fucking you throw people some extra stuff, and you get, so there's, yeah. I mean, you can dice it up a couple different ways. Like, it's either with swag, or it's with money, or it's promos, or whatever, right? Like but when it comes to sales, sometimes it's not necessarily just about beer. It's what else can you do for them.
Right.
That's what they're looking for. And it's usually the shittiest accounts that ask for the most.
I don't think we've ever been asked for anything.
No, just if you're gonna do a tasting, bring stickers. Like that's the realm of what I've been asked. I've been like turned away instantly from stores and told that I will be contacted when all his beer buyers come in and request our beer.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, Matt's dealt with.
So it's literally got to be a matter of every single
Yes.
beer buyer.
Yeah, he goes, "Who are you?" And started to get into my spiel.
Yeah.
And about 2 seconds in, well, when the people start asking about you, I'll contact you.
Yeah.
And I was like, so I'll leave my card. And
It's
he
such a
goes,
big
no, I'll find a way to contact you. And I just was like, yeah, I'm walking out.
What is this guy?
Yeah,
A sage?
yeah.
He's just
Yeah.
he can predict the future.
Yeah.
Or the barcode, UPCs. None of your bottles
that
have
was a good
UPCs on them.
Yeah.
We're not taking you in.
I'm not training my employees on
can't-
that. They can't figure it out.
Training, because you can't just search
That's
something on your
crazy.
fucking computer.
Yeah.
That was a new one.
You're like,
What?
sir, they're sour bottles. No one's going to buy them anyway, so I don't think your employees are going to have much work today.
One of the classic lines that another sales guy I used to know used was, do you give hair? Yeah, he would always ask the buyer, like, do you give haircuts here? He's like, no, we don't give haircuts here. He's like, well, if you put a barber pole outside, maybe people would come and ask for one, right? So like the whole kind of, I'm waiting for people to come out and ask. It's like, just put it on the shelf, and maybe people will actually buy it.
Yeah, that was a new one to me that I had no rebuttal for.
Yeah, especially because it's just like, give it a chance. There's so many, and I'm sure you could walk around the store and be like, this is out of code, this is out of code, this is out of code. You've just got shit that's sitting here. It's a goddamn museum.
That ran through my mind. I was
Yeah.
like, should I just go and pull some dated stuff right now and
Yeah,
lay it
just-
up there?
Just go find a Stone IPA 6-pack, and you'll be able to find something pretty quick. It's just like, hey, we can take the shelf spot if you
Yeah.
want.
Speaking of barbers, and this is a half segue.
Speaking of
This is a
barbers.
half segue into one of our favorite things that we do on the podcast. Is we like to make you read bad reviews.
Yeah.
I'm so
Yes.
excited to hear which ones you found.
For the record, so Steve usually handles the Google and Yelp stuff, and then I usually handle the Untapped stuff. You guys are very well rated on Untapped. I could not really find a lot of bad Untapped reviews. You got
He also only looked in the parking lot before we got here.
Wow, you really
That's why you're out
Thanks.
front for so long.
Thanks, Steve. Really appreciate you throwing me under the bus on that one while I'm trying to give them a compliment.
Hey, thanks for
No, they
making
did,
time
they
for
did
us,
great.
guys.
Yeah, they did.
And Steve also doesn't even know how to use Untapped. He's
I
just
know,
like,
it's a weird interface.
it's not a weird interface. It's pretty simple.
There's
It's
that
very
search
There's
bar.
certain things on there that are very poorly done. though.
Yeah, absolutely.
But-
Yeah.
Fuck
It's a
you.
mix.
Fuck you. Don't do defense.
I don't know. I'm right in the middle.
Corey's the co-founder of Untapped. He doesn't appreciate those
No, I just don't appreciate you giving him any credit.
I'm just buttering him up
all.
for these Blues comments that are coming later.
Wow, yeah, I forgot about how much the fucking Blues suck. I actually met Ryan O'Reilly and Pat Maroon.
Yeah, I still have a note in here to talk about Das
years
Boot and
ago.
Cedar Rapids. Before we get to that,
This is
tell me-
only-
No. What happened with the Das Boot and Cedar Rapids?
Oh, we're just sitting around. Our friend had just got a job out there, an engineering job, so we all just went to see what Cedar Rapids was about. And
What is Cedar Rapids about? Tell me what Cedar Rapids is about.
What's the deal with Cedar Rapids?
one half of the town smells awful like the paper mill. The other half smells like Fruit Loops from the Kellogg's mill. So, that's all I got. I don't know. Choose,
Okay.
And it floods every few years.
Yeah. So you guys are all just Catholic mass style drinking on this Das Boot.
No, we were sitting there just enjoying a pint of something, and then the bachelorette party put a Das Boot in front of us, and then
A bachelorette party.
challenged us to a Das Boot chug off.
Were you single at the time?
I was not.
Okay, never mind. I'm not going to ask any more of those questions.
Yes.
Anyway. But anyway,
Single
so
in
you were-
Cedar Rapids is a
So
wild
did you get
time.
did you get dosed by a bachelorette party with a Das Boot in Cedar Rapids?
I can't chug, so when it affected me, I took a sip and passed it. But apparently, something must happen.
Pre-COVID.
The rest of that night.
Yeah,
was
back when we
very
shared
hazy.
last night.
Yeah.
Those were the days.
Yeah.
Remember when it didn't seem weird at all to pass one beer around 20 different people?
No. Especially if you get like 10 bottles deep and get a bottle share at that point, and you're just like, just drink it out of the fucking bottle. What are you being pretentious for? What do you need a new glass? Go fuck yourself.
But I mean, even like beer pong before COVID, beer pong.
Oh, God.
It was like you quit sharing the glass though, and you just would have your own. Like,
No wonder
water.
college campuses are exploding.
Yeah, that's why when I play beer pong, I spray hand sanitizer on all the cups. Every
Ping
time.
pong ball every time.
Yeah, we just drink hand sanitizer now. There's alcohol in there.
Well, speaking of barbers,
Oh, I know what review you're about.
yes.
And if you guys, by the way, while we're getting into this, if you have any of your own that you can think of, please do. We would love to
See
hear
if you
more.
found the Google one I like.
This one, 3 years ago, Patrick Cunningham gives you 2 stars. He says, decent beer. Why is there a barber in the middle of it?
You just cutting pubes in the middle of the tasting room? What's happening?
Our taproom manager at the time, she had just found out she had alopecia, and so we were doing it, which is like where your hair
Like a
randomly
charity
falls
event.
out all over.
Yeah.
So some of our buds from BC Barber on Colfax brought their chairs in, and some people were cutting, like my partner, he had really long hair at the time, and they cut off, all of his hair to donate it, and a bunch of other people were doing that. So yeah, it was like, and it was so obvious that
We
something
had a
was
huge
happening.
raffle
Right.
going on.
Yeah, there was
Yeah,
for
they
a
did.
good cause.
Yeah.
And then who's the person?
His name is Patrick Cunningham.
And then Patrick
he has
Cunningham.
He has a giant goatee that he should donate to charity.
Alopecia.
Patrick, also just like next time you're in a place and something seems a little off, check out the context of the situation, dude.
Yeah, like what do you think that's just a normal thing here?
Yeah, we just, we forgot to put our barber pole up, but
The marble.
I forgot the one you said earlier.
But whenever anytime you say or see something like that, I should say, you kind of know it's for a good cause, right? Because the St. Baldrick's is also like another big thing that people donate money towards. Cause
They have a whole day across the entire country.
Right. So if there's a barber in a spot that you normally wouldn't see one, what kind of like lack of awareness do you have to be like, beers were good, but they were cutting
Well,
hair. in the town.
according to your theory, there's no barber pole.
And I mean, 2 stars for that. Like, what?
I mean, the beer was complimented. He complimented the beer.
Yeah.
I hope you found the review I wanted.
I mean,
Why don't you
I got
go-
a few.
Why don't
Okay.
you go into it?
No, you go first.
Ben VZ, 5 years ago,
Oh yeah,
2 stars.
You know him by name. He's like, yeah, I know Ben BC.
I'll admit I have yet to try because they are always closed. 2 times now. Don't open until 1600 p.m. on a Saturday. And they don't. The military time does not work that way.
What are you guys only open for alopecia events or what?
oh
As I stood there at 2:30 p.m., I watched 2 more people walk up and leave. Your business plan is a lame, and lame is all capitalized.
Yeah, he sounds like a disgruntled military person.
Your business plan is a lame, and that rotting strip mall setting shows you're really serious about this. Go down the street to Black Sky or Lowdown and forget about this place.
Yeah, so it's not like you guys are next to a J.C. Penney or some other kind of like weird strip mall-y kind of thing.
Was Bandit Oak Lowdown before I was Bandit Oak? Or is
No, Lowdown's at 8th and Lincoln.
So, that's right, even
But still,
further.
better
Even
places
further.
than here, clearly.
Yeah, Bandit Oak didn't exist at the time.
Is this the one you were talking about?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
my favorite review.
What's your deal with it?
Oh man, it's just so funny because, well, one, the military time.
1600
Two,
PM is
the guy
hilarious.
clearly knows how to use Google because he left the review on Google and our hours are posted very
On
clearly
Google.
on Google.
Yeah.
And, I mean, we are in a rotting strip mall, that's true.
For being in the military, this guy didn't do a whole lot of intel before
Oh,
he
man.
fucking came here. And also, he just stood out in the parking lot for
Yeah.
how long? For
Are you
how long
kidding
did
me?
he stand
Look
out
at
in
all
the
the
parking
people
lot?
hanging out in front of the head shop right now. There have been people in front of the head shop. This strip mall is fucking popping.
Yeah,
I mean,
it rips.
and also, do you think it's in anyone's business interest to only be open 1 or 2 days a week? Like we were clearly dealing with some unforeseen stuff 5 years
Well,
ago. you know?
yeah, what were we dealing with?
Sweeping
not
all the
open.
hair from alopecia. That's-
No,
For Lieutenant Dan over here.
Yeah, the guy that we wanted to have American-made equipment, so we also didn't have a lot of money, so we
What an
contacted this
idiot.
guy to get our equipment back in 2013. He ended up being pretty shady, and we ended up having to go through a lawsuit with him to actually get the equipment that we paid for. And so in the meantime, we just had a 1-barrel system, so we were brewing 2 kegs of beer per batch.
Which is adorable.
It's just really cute. And our walk-in was like empty.
It's just real cute.
And we thought it would be better to be open when we say we're going to be open with 6 beers on tap than to have like be open and have 1 beer on tap or have to close. Back in those times, breweries were like opening and then closing down for like a week or 2 because they were running out of beer, you know. And we were like, we're not going to do that. First, we'll be open just Saturdays, and then we'll be open Thursdays and Saturdays because we were worried if we were open Fridays and Saturdays, we'd run out of beer. And then we went Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and we just slowly added a day and finally got the equipment. And so that's the story, Ben VZ or whatever. his name is.
You're not
And
thinking
bees.
about it. Is the name.
No,
Well,
I
I
mean,
mean, if-
it's
if-
funny, you know, and it's
If you're
just
only open for like 1 or 2 days, are you guys actually front for the cartel? Like, are you actually just selling cocaine out of the back?
I mean,
Because this is good. I mean, this
we
is good
might.
infrastructure. It looks like there's actually beer in these.
Yeah, you haven't seen the alleyway for a reason, so.
I've got 2 more reviews to read. Do you want to read this one?
Yeah, I can read this one. So this is from Heidi S. She's a piece of shit. 3 stars.
Still above average. Still above
yeah, that's not
2.5.
bad.
Popped into this place while passing by on a bike ride. Okay, she's active. Sampled several different beers. But the Baere Weiss was the standout for sure. Exclamation point. Hard to find, and so good. I didn't love the space. Didn't love the space. Tap room, you guys listening? I was a cold, dreary nights. And what is this, a band? Is this
Van Morrison lyric?
I was a cold, dreary day, and it just didn't seem. Why are you on a bike ride? And it just didn't seem very lively inside. Staff was great, and I would definitely come back for the beer. This wasn't particularly memorable for me. So she's on a bike ride
You
on
lost
a
2
rainy
stars
day
because somebody was riding their bike in a rainy day.
in the rain. Yeah. Sorry, Heidi, that you got a DUI, and then you also had to ride your bike to work on a rainy day, and you were getting hammered before your job. But like, why? Why is that Bear's problem?
All I heard was staff was great, so.
Hey! Staff chimed in.
Staff was great.
Do you guys have any jokes, by the way?
That's a no.
Well, the staff's just hanging
Like,
out.
oh my God.
Some people have stock jokes that they just like know to tell.
Hey Heidi, don't come here right now. You'd be the only person in here. It feels a little bit dreary.
It's a little smoky outside
The
today.
world feels dreary. Do not ride your bike outside.
Yeah, so what do you want to say to Heidi? Like, tell us how you want to, like, respond to Heidi about how you can make her experience better.
I mean, we took down the disco ball mid-COVID too, so.
That's worse. Why would that make her
2.5
experience better?
stars.
Yeah, you just go down.
Just thanks for your feedback. We'll work on it.
We'll be better.
Yeah. I want to see 301
That's
days
very
of sunshine
present
next
of you.
year.
Just be like, we'll just be better. We're just
Yeah.
gonna be better.
We'll work on ourselves.
Speaking of Colorado, welcome to this last review. This is from Adrian R. from 6615, 2 stars.
666, Satan.
This isn't true. They're a block away.
Never said that.
Colorado is an amazing state when it comes to beer. I love brewery beer, and I love brewery beer and the atmosphere that come with. It is really upsetting that this place doesn't allow dogs.
Fuck up.
It is the only brewery that I can think of that is anti-dog.
You are anti-dog.
This is Colorado.
Dog, whoa.
I tend to take my dog with me everywhere, and I have never had an issue at any brewery when I bring her along.
Yeah.
The place doesn't sell actual food.
Most people appreciate when she humps their ankles.
They have pretzels. They heat up like most breweries I've been to. I was extremely disappointed
Do you guys
about
even do
how
pretzels?
tight they are with their pet policy. After all, this place is Colorado. We are a very pet-friendly state. Wish they could change that policy. Beer's not the worst, but not the best.
What he didn't mention, he also tried to bring his iguana and boa constrictor
Yeah.
here. He's like, they're very pet-friendly. Why do you guys hate dogs?
Yeah,
Why'd you kick that dog today?
Yeah, why did you kick the dog?
Definitely lose.
Why do you guys have dog fighting out back?
Yeah, why is there a circle in the back that says dog fighting ring? Why is that?
I've always been really happy that that review exists because it just provides information for other people to also not bring their dogs here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, like,
honestly,
legally, you
I
can't
would
have-
prefer that they didn't, to be completely honest. I know the kids get a lot of shit. They're like, you shouldn't bring your kid to a fucking brewery. I'm like, no offense, but you shouldn't bring a fucking dog either.
Yeah, kids are just
I love
small.
dogs.
Kids
Yeah,
are just
nobody says
small
that we don't like
adults,
dogs,
okay?
Steve, but don't bring them to the fucking bar.
And also the like, you know, I mean, there's parents that
A little heated, yeah. Got upset.
there's bad kid owners and there's bad dog owners.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I watched a dog get hit by a car here, so.
Oh, shit.
And it was a girl that took a dog out from a shelter for like a foster for a day thing.
Man, did she
So,
fail?
Talk about like one of the, like to this day, just worst.
Yeah.
Boy,
see,
did she
you're
break
just like
the
this
sack of
beer.
flour on
This
that
beer
baby
shit's
bread.
on. This beer shot's on us. Here, have this little taster.
Yeah, and let that be a lesson to you all.
Yes.
Yeah, do not bring your dogs here, or they will get hit by cars.
Broadway's a busy ass.
I mean,
We've seen a lot of accidents. We've seen
course.
bicycles hit by motorcycles.
This
we've seen
street in
motorcycles
general is
hit
like
by
a
trucks.
NASCAR.
I've seen a motorcycle
Oh,
like
crazy.
stuck in the front fender of a truck, like off the ground.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Well, and I used to work down the street at a unnamed burrito restaurant in Alameda.
That runs with illegal Pete's.
I don't know who Pete is, but yeah, I mean they would post up. The cops would post up in this Conoco and then pull the DUIs over at the Sinclair 6 blocks down, and it was the DUIs. I would see 4 DUIs every single night that they were just pulling people over for. This street is not a safe one.
I mean, some horrible deaths have happened, and people try
And
to
some
race
good
to
ones.
get through the 3rd Avenue light, and so people are just flying, you know.
Yeah. Well, I always like to end on a high note.
Well, on that high note, let's talk about.
What a sad way to.
How's that?
Well, we can talk about whatever. We don't just have to like.
We can talk about zombies. Like, what if that person that got hit came back as a zombie? Then what would you do? Where would you
Right,
go?
exactly, yeah.
We've got a
Fun
whole new
things
fun take
to talk
on this.
about.
Yeah.
But actually, before we get out of here, is there any stuff that you guys want to promote, like any news that's going on with the tap room? Because again, like you guys just started doing distro during all of this, so just give us the spiel on what you guys got going on, where people can find your beer, events, whatever.
you start.
Yeah, we took a little break from canning once we were allowed to reopen, just to we are a 2.5 barrel brew house. We only brew like 5 kegs of beer per batch equivalent, and so we didn't know how the tap room being open would go. so we stopped canning, but we're doing canning run every month now.
Mobile or do you on your own?
Yeah, mobile canning. Yeah, craft canning. Thank you, big props, Jared and his team. They are professionals. Yeah. You guys should get that. You guys should get that.
That's
siren,
what finally
man.
got you.
need
Oh, I have the fucking ham horn. I have that somewhere.
So yeah, we're just out in like 10 or so stores. Mostly the people who have been our friends and supported us from the very beginning: Mr. B's, Pearl, Joy,
Littles,
mm-hmm.
Argonaut,
Yeah, some of the
up
big
in
guys.
Longmont, Wyatt's, Hazel's in Boulder.
Yeah, just a handful of places that the two of us can drive to. Yeah. So keep looking for our cans. We're getting our sour beer in cans too. And we'll see you on the other side of winter otherwise. Huh?
Sure. Yeah, because who knows what's going to happen in the next couple weeks or whatever.
Yeah.
Did you have anything you wanted to add about like stuff you got going on?
No. I mean, kind of same thing. We do have the real dill products here. So if anybody needs some, stock up on some pickles, hot sauce, bloody mix.
Ooh, I do love pickles.
On the fly while you're getting some to-go beer. We have that available with multiple flavors.
Why is that here?
They're really good buddies with us, and so we've done a collaborative hot sauce as a small batch project that led into now every couple months. They come and grab about
130 gallons of our Berliner Weiss, and it's the base. It's instead of the vinegar, they use our sour beer for the green chili
Oh, that's
hot
sick.
sauce.
That's
Yeah.
really cool.
It's awesome. They also have two of our barrels right now that have turned into vinegar here, and we brought them over there, and they put, the spoiler alert, put vinegar mothers into them, and they're aerating them over there. And so hopefully we'll have them all vinegar out sometime before the end of the year.
Man, this is
That's
crazy breaking news.
Yeah, we've
Collaborated.
collaborated.
Breaking news. No one knows about this.
We collaborate with them on our seltzer too. The first time was just good old cucumber seltzer, and this new one on's like agua fresca style, so cucumber, hibiscus, and lime. But yeah, that base of the cucumber juice that they have provides an awesome, refreshing experience. So if you're gonna seltzer, I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, where do you guys land on that with the whole seltzer game? Because I know we talked earlier about just, all right, are you just brewing about what everybody wants and kind of escaping your identity a bit, or like, are you still trying to keep it true to you a bit?
the first time I think it was because it was like, well, like let's just see what this is in our own way, and then from that it became like, oh, like if we're gonna do this, like let's make it fun. And hence when Tyler was dropping off hot sauce, we were like mentioned, hey, what if we used your cucumber juice for a seltzer? And immediately that was brought over to us, and there it was. And then working on that creativity, like that's the whole kind of idea behind craft brewery, right? Like if you're gonna do it, like make it fun and creative. And
Yeah.
so we
Yeah, that's weird because in stand-up comedy, it's like, let's have not fun. Let's be miserable.
But a lot of the people that have been making hard seltzers locally, honestly, they kind of suck. You know, to be completely honest, like
it's
they're
very
just-
true. I mean,
Yeah, it's
I've
not
had
necessarily
horrible
great.
ones.
Well, I don't know if people really know how to use natural flavors in that way, right? Like a lot of people use natural flavors when they're adding to a beer, which is a lot of just a subtle nuance to something that already has a strong backbone. You've got like a lot of malt in there. You can add some hops in, and then also just like just add dimensions to whatever you're drinking, and then you can add like a chocolate natural flavor in there or something along those lines. But with the seltzer thing, like if the natural flavor is the only flavor, I've just had some and I'm like, Jesus, this is gross.
All right, go get two tasters of that. Let's
Yeah.
or four.
Do you want an honest opinion?
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's my
I mean,
honest
because
opinion.
I think I'm like, but so you know, it's like we all are. We're anti-hazy IPA. and
We're
now
anti every
racing.
all the
We're
new
right?
the
Because
fad thing.
nothing's
Right?
supposed
Like,
to change. Yeah.
One of the bad reviews I found was like, I was disappointed by the beer slushy, and it's like, I don't. The
do you
beer
guys do
slushy.
beer slushies?
Dude, beer slushies have been our #1 selling item.
What?
almost
Why?
all summer.
Why?
I don't know. So we've gone with the same. We were like, this is insane. we need to do this right then. And so we've been using fresh ingredients, and we've been like, and it's actually been like fun.
Okay.
Oh.
So you're enjoying it.
I enjoy making them.
Oh, wow,
I don't
look at
drink
that.
them, but yeah.
Nice big cube.
And the same thing with this. Like I drink it, and I'm like, God, it sucks. This is so tasty. Like,
I know you said it sucks that it's so good. I guess my problem isn't necessarily.
and that's not really
It's not the
truth,
beers
but
necessarily. I just hate people in the regard that the people that are the beer industry at large has been taken over by people that appreciate the McDonald's of beer, so to speak, where it turns like whatever's the most available and the sweetest and the most right. That's what's most popular. So the slushy thing comes up with us because of breweries like 450 North, and I fucking hate them. I fucking hate them with a passion because they're dishonest. They're overpricing their Dole juice to people that are just shills, right? And that's on the people.
Yeah.
That's not on them. Like they're just taking advantage of people that are willing to give them $20 a 4-pack for banana juice or whatever the
It's
hell.
watered down to like
Yeah.
2%.
And then they lie about the ABV, which influences price, in my opinion. And then it winds up being like 3%. It was like 8%, or whatever the fuck, when they said it was 8%. So I guess that's why, because of all of the bullshit that's tied into some of these fads, that's what I despise the most about it, right? Because you can make something like that and it's cool, it's fun, right? It's not necessarily your hallmark, but
right.
I don't know where you guys stand on any of that.
No, like
I don't think we'll get into that.
yeah,
ourselves, but-
it's just if you're gonna do it, just be like, don't lie about it, be passionate about it, and yeah, don't create something out of spite. Like that's the worst part. Like I'm gonna make money off this, I don't care how it is. I'm gonna sell it anyway. That's the worst.
Yeah, I think to me one of the things that not even just in the beer industry, but with businesses at large is like, don't treat me like an idiot. You know what I mean? Be sincere and don't try to take advantage of people. Those are my biggest qualms with any kind of business. It doesn't even have to be a brewery or anything like that. Just like as soon as you start trying to take advantage of people, that's when I'm not on board.
Yeah, that's too bottom line.
Says somebody who bought a Samsung phone.
What does that even mean?
It means Samsung took advantage of you with the phone that you purchased.
Why?
Because you hate it.
Yeah. So Apple doesn't want to take advantage of you?
Oh no, they love taking it, but I let them. It's not.
Steve
It's
tries to
more
be funny
consensual.
sometimes, and it doesn't
It's
necessarily
not.
work.
They're having a good time over there.
That's
They're
great.
having a good time.
So, honest opinion about this?
Sure.
It's good.
All right.
It's really good.
It's like really, the flavor is good. I've been like prickly pear, some watermelon vibes.
Yep.
You know, it's
I
good.
got like a dragon fruit flavor. It's really good, but I would say in terms of like this being like a seltzer, it almost tastes more like a juice than like a seltzer.
That's the apple flavor, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably like
I
that
mean,
idea.
One of my, because we're considering canning it, and I was like, man, I just want to talk about how so many seltzer people are trying to mimic LaCroix, which is just already a disappointing thing to drink. You know, I always wish there was more flavor in there.
LaCroix's,
Like,
yeah,
it's
of all the
like-
seltzer brands, I'm not crazy about LaCroix. They just sold the name, basically.
Yeah, and a lot of just like non-alcoholic seltzers.
One thing that I am noticing about, from a sales point of view about this kind of stuff, is I don't know if you want to call it the Agua Fresca.
No, I don't
No,
think
yeah.
so. It's
Yeah.
like we're inspired by
Yeah.
Agua Fresca, but we would
No,
never
that's,
say
and I like that, and because you said that, I get that a little bit more. I'm like, yeah, this lines up with all of that. But it so, again, speaks to how silly and ill-informed some consumers are. Where if you just put Agua Fresca on the label, it's like, yeah, it's basically the same thing as a seltzer, but just made a different way.
Yeah.
But they look at that and they go, I don't know what the hell that means.
Yep.
I don't want it. And you see that with rye a lot. You see that with wheat a lot, where people are like, I don't like wheat beers.
Even
Dude, you've
just
been
sour beer labeling, we've
Yeah.
learned that lesson many a times.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very much
Yeah, and we definitely don't need to co-opt the Latino culture, the deep culture of Agua Frescas. You know, they drink this and be like,
4K
Yeah,
no.
no.
what is inspired by.
Yeah, just
inspired by
the remembering some awesome restaurant that you stumbled into and had that as a beverage one time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it is pink, so are you guys adding actual fruit?
Yeah, that's the other thing is
That's
like
the hibiscus,
yeah,
hibiscus flower.
hibiscus flower.
From Savory
It's a beautiful.
Spice.
It's a
shout
great
out.
color. It's a nice flavor. You want who was it from?
Oh, Savory Spice.
lot of shout outs. Shout out to John Hamm for the theme song.
Hey, thanks for the one and only.
Yeah,
I miss you, man.
Yeah, John Hamm's the shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
He's
did
awesome.
the intro. He did all the music for our pod.
I love the ska remix.
Oh, nice.
He told me, here's the, okay, John Hamm, I do have a bone to pick. And he will listen to this eventually.
And we're gonna do it right now.
He told me two things. He told me one, he doesn't like listening to the podcast unless he's drinking with, which I kind of get. But he told me that this was like a fucking week ago. He's like, I haven't listened to the ska episode yet, but I have listened to the intro song like 200 times.
Just vibing on his own fucking
He just
song.
restarts it over and over and over. So
Well, that's
It's in
what
his
we call-
loops now.
yeah,
That's
He's just on his pedal.
He actually rubs one out to it every single time.
yeah.
Well, thank you guys so much for being on the show. The beers are amazing. You guys are awesome. That's all we can ever ask for. We've got a bunch of shows coming up, including a new one at Beer Style Lager House.
If this comes out on Monday, it's Tuesday,
Yeah,
and then FICO Wednesday.
yeah.
We
And then
got
we got Outworld in Longmont, October
cool.
1st.
It's a really cool. Have you guys heard?
No, I live in Longmont. I haven't gone.
You haven't gone?
My friends
Dude,
Why should definitely
it's
come to the show.
amazing. So
it really is like the. No offense, but it is the coolest tap room I've ever been in. It is crazy in there.
All offense. He meant,
Yeah.
he meant every part of that.
Fuck you for
stars.
having fuck you for having a 21st century tap room. We're talking 23rd here. It's all sci-fi based.
Yeah.
It's very cool in there.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
So I'm excited for that.
For sure. And then we got a couple other things in the works, so just pay attention to the social media for all of that. And yeah, thank you guys so much.
Thanks,
Steve,
guys.
anything?
Thank you guys.
thank you all.
Cool. Peace.
Bye.
No, it's always it's on the opposite side by 25, and I'm like, oh, I forgot it's over there. My buddy went there the other day, and he's like, holy crap when he walked inside. He's like,
Dude,
this place
it-
is so cool.
It really is like
Kick up the
entering another
jams.
world.
Kick up the jams.
Yeah, sorry that we were a buzzkill this whole time.
And they like I asked
Thank you
them
very much.
why
Yeah,
sci-fi.
that's
They're
fine.
like,
Is it fun?
Yeah.
Wanted a place for people to like get
Hope I didn't
away.
drag it on too much.
It does
That
feel
beer
like
definitely hit me
you're
like
out when you're in
2/3
there.
Yeah,
of the
It
way.
feels like you're at the Star Wars cantina.
And especially,
I mean,
like,
that's
because
like-
where it's at,
Hey,
like,
if we
it's
wanted to
bland
cut
over there,
in,
there's nothing
yeah,
going
yeah,
on.
yeah.
We're in, you're like, there's like what a Denny's or
That was fun.
Waffle
I
House
like
across the street.
Yeah, yeah. It's like the Wizard of Oz.
I feel like it's
black
more
and
nice
white.
for brief because you don't really
Yeah,
talk
you
to
get in there. It's a bummer they had to open doing
Ever.
this because
I
I'm
know,
sure
it's
it's
just
like
more,
all
you
the
know,
events they could put
Odd
on
deal.
there
Yeah, where
would be
we had that as
freaking
normal party
awesome.
life before.
Great time.
Yeah,
So
that's like
what's
kind of
going on?
why you open a bar too, is just to meet people.
Yeah, the cheers aspect of it. And plus, I mean, we do comedy all the time, so we know we're just a little better, I think, about interviewing and knowing what questions to ask.
Is this still on here? Are you
Fun
still?
things.
He's still streaming this.
Yeah, but I
He's
think
just gonna go into talking about how we're the best. It's like,
Is it live?
no.